The courtroom clock ticks louder than ever as Jason Miller, a promising lawyer, clutches a hidden letter that could destroy his perfect life. His wife's cheeky smile from the witness stand cuts like a knife. Did she set him up? One truth is burning. Someone is lying, and Jason is running out of time to prove it's not him. If you stand for justice, sign up. Jason Miller, 32, is a razor-sharp defense attorney navigating the bustling courtrooms of Seattle, a city pulsating with the energy of tech startups and the steady drizzle of Pacific Northwest rain. His reputation for unyielding commitment to justice precedes him, earning quiet nods of respect from colleagues and clients alike. He lives in a cedar-shingled home nestled in the eclectic Capitol Hill neighborhood, where vibrant murals and cozy cafes paint the streets. Sharing this life is his wife, Emily, 33, a charismatic tech entrepreneur whose innovative startup has tech blogs buzzing, and their lively 5-year-old daughter, Lily, whose infectious giggle lights up their world. To their neighbors, the Millers are the embodiment of success, a dynamic couple juggling thriving careers while nurturing a warm, loving family. Their weekends brim with Lily's soccer games, where Jason's enthusiastic cheers echo across the field, and quiet evenings at home, where they sprawl on the living room rug, battling it out over board games or sketching plans for a summer road trip to the Grand Canyon. Yet beneath this idyllic surface, Jason senses a subtle fracture. Emily, once the spark of every room with her quick wit and radiant energy, has grown distant. Her late nights at the office have become routine, her phone always tucked just out of reach, its screen glowing with notifications she dismisses with a vague wave. Her smiles, once a balm to Jason's long days, now feel rehearsed, as if she's performing for an audience he can't see. He tries to pin it on the pressure of her startup's latest funding push, a high-stakes game in Seattle's cutthroat tech scene, but the doubt creeps in quiet but persistent. During dinners, he catches her staring past him, her fork hovering over untouched food, her mind adrift in a place she doesn't share. When he gently asks if something's wrong, she flashes a tight smile, murmuring about work stress before steering the conversation to Lily's school projects or the weather. One rainy evening, as Seattle's skyline shimmers through a veil of mist, Jason sits at the kitchen table, helping Lily with her homework. She's sketching a family portrait, 3 stick figures under a cheerful yellow sun, holding hands. "Why does Mommy look sad sometimes?" Lily asks, her small voice cutting through the hum of the dishwasher. Jason's heart stumbles. He fumbles for an answer, masking his unease with a playful ruffle of her hair, but the question burrows deep. Later, as he tucks Lily into bed, her room aglow with fairy lights, he spots Emily in the hallway, her face illuminated by the soft glow of her phone. She's typing rapidly, her expression guarded, and when she notices him, she slips the phone in her pocket with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "Just work," she says, her voice too light, before retreating to the living room. That night, Jason lies awake, the rhythmic patter of rain against the window echoing his restless thoughts. He traces the arc of their life together, the late-night talks when they were newlyweds, dreaming of a future they'd build side by side, the overwhelming joy of Lily's first steps in their tiny downtown apartment, the shared pride when Emily landed her first big investor. He's always trusted her, believed in their partnership through every challenge, grueling work hours, the chaos of parenting, the relentless pace of their ambitions. But now, her distance feels like a shadow creeping across their life, too vague to confront, but too real to ignore. Seattle's vibrant streets, with their artisanal coffee shops and sleek tech offices, have always been the canvas for their story, a place where love and hustle intertwined. Yet, as Jason watches the city lights blur through the rain-streaked window, he wonders if the life they've built is hiding cracks he's been too trusting to see. He pushes the thought away, clinging to the hope that this is just a phase. They've faced storms before. Emily's sleepless nights during her startup's launch, Jason's long hours on a landmark case, the exhaustion of raising a spirited toddler. Surely, this is another hurdle they'll clear together. But as he drifts towards sleep, Lily's drawing lingers in his mind. 3 figures under a sun that feels too bright, too perfect, as if it's hiding something. Jason doesn't know it yet, but this flicker of doubt is the first thread in a web of deception that will challenge everything he holds dear: his marriage, his career, his role as a father. The truth is lurking, closer than he imagines, and it's poised to upend the life he thought he knew. The rain hasn't let up in Seattle, mirroring the storm brewing in Jason Miller's chest as he prepares for a critical case that could redefine his career. He's hunched over his laptop in their Capitol Hill home, the glow of the screen casting shadows across the dining room. Lily's asleep upstairs, her latest drawing, a family under a sunny sky, taped to the fridge, a quiet reminder of what's at stake. Emily's late again, her absence a familiar ache. Jason tries to focus, but his thoughts drift to her guarded smiles, her quick deflections. He shakes it off, blaming his unease on the pressure of the upcoming trial. But then, his phone pings with an anonymous email, the subject line a single word: truth. His pulse quickens as he opens it. Inside is a grainy photo of Emily at a sleek rooftop bar downtown, laughing with a man he doesn't recognize. Their heads are close, her hand resting on his arm. The message below reads, "Your wife's keeping secrets." Jason's stomach churns. He stares at the image, the city's twinkling lights blurred in the background, a cruel contrast to the clarity of Emily's betrayal. He tells himself it could be a misunderstanding, a work colleague, a harmless moment caught out of context. But the intimacy in her posture, the ease of her smile, feels like a blade. When Emily slips through the door at midnight, her coat damp from the rain, Jason's voice is steady but cold. "Who are you with tonight?" he asks, holding up his phone. Her eyes widen, then narrow, as she glances at the photo. "It's just a client," she says, her tone too casual, her fingers fidgeting with her scarf. "You're overthinking this, Jason." But her gaze darts away, and the lie hangs heavy between them. The next morning, Jason's world tilts further. He's called into his law firm's sleek downtown office, where his managing partner delivers a gut punch. He's been suspended, effective immediately, pending an ethics investigation. Someone leaked confidential client data, and the digital trail points to Jason's login credentials. Credentials he knows Emily could access through their shared home laptop. The accusation is absurd. Jason's meticulous, his ethics ironclad. But the evidence is damning, and whispers ripple through the firm. Colleagues avoid his eyes as he packs his briefcase, his reputation unraveling with every step toward the elevator. Back home, Emily's sympathy feels hollow, her hand on his shoulder more performative than comforting. "We'll figure this out," she says, but her voice lacks conviction, and Jason notices her phone is nowhere in sight. Desperate for answers, Jason digs deeper that evening, his mind racing as Lily plays quietly in her room, oblivious to the tension. He logs into their shared cloud account, something he hasn't done in years, and finds a folder labeled work_backup. Inside are encrypted emails between Emily and the man from the photo, someone named Craig, tagged as an investor. The messages are vague but chilling, mentioning clearing obstacles and securing the deal. One line stops Jason cold. The leak will keep him distracted. His hands tremble as he realizes the truth. Emily didn't just betray their marriage with a fleeting moment at a bar. She's orchestrating something bigger, something calculated, and it's aimed at him. The suspension, the leaked data, it's no coincidence. Jason closes the laptop, the rain drumming harder against the windows. He thinks of Lily's drawing, the innocent trust in her crayon strokes, and feels a surge of resolve. Emily's deception cuts deep, but he won't let it destroy him or their daughter's future. As he watches the Seattle skyline flicker through the storm, Jason knows he's standing at crossroads. The woman he loves, the life he built, is slipping through his fingers, but he's not ready to surrender. He needs proof, a plan, and the strength to face whatever truth lies beneath Emily's lies. The fight for justice, he realizes, is just beginning. It will test every ounce of his courage. Seattle's rain falls in a ceaseless curtain, washing the city's neon glow into a hazy blur as Jason Miller sits in his dimly lit home office, the weight of betrayal heavy in his chest. The soft glow of his laptop screen illuminates the room, casting long shadows across the desk cluttered with legal pads and coffee mugs. Upstairs, Lily sleeps, her gentle snores of faint comfort in the storm raging inside him. But sleep eludes Jason, chased away by the anonymous email that shattered his trust and the encrypted messages he uncovered on Emily's laptop. The words echo in his mind. The leak will keep him distracted. His suspension from the law firm, the baseless accusations of leaking client data, the murmurs unraveling his hard-earned reputation. It's all connected, and Emily, the woman he vowed to love forever, is at the heart of it. The urge to confront her surges, to demand answers in a flood of anger. But the thought of Lily waking to their shouts anchors him. He needs more than suspicion. He needs ironclad proof to face the truth without destroying their daughter's world. Jason's quest for answers becomes a quiet obsession. He reaches out to Sarah, a former colleague whose knack for digital forensics once saved a case from collapse. They meet at a bustling Capitol Hill cafe, with a clink of coffee cups and hum of conversation mask their urgent exchange. Rain streaks the windows as Jason slides his phone across the table, showing Sarah the encrypted emails. Her eyes narrow as she scans the files on her tablet, her fingers tapping a rhythm of focus. "This is sloppy work," she says, voice low. "The encryption's thin, and the IP traces to a co-working space downtown." She digs deeper, confirming the man in the rooftop bar photo, Craig, isn't an investor but a consultant linked to a rival tech firm notorious for corporate espionage. The emails sketch a chilling scheme. Sabotage Jason's law firm to cripple its reputation, clearing the way for Emily's startup to snag a multi-million-dollar contract. Each revelation tightens the knot in Jason's chest, a mix of betrayal and dread. But Sarah's sharp nod offers a lifeline. "You're onto something big," she says. "But keep it quiet. If Emily's involved, she's playing with fire." Back at home, the air crackles with unspoken tension. Emily moves through their evening routine with practiced grace, tossing a salad for dinner, reading Lily a bedtime story about talking animals. But her eyes slide past Jason's, her laughter thin and brittle. He studies her, searching for cracks in her carefully curated facade, but she's meticulous. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, is now password protected, her laptop locked in her briefcase. Jason's suspicion deepens, and then a bombshell drops. While sorting through a pile of bills in the kitchen, he finds a bank statement slipped inside an old envelope. It shows a $50,000 transfer from their joint savings, money set aside for Lily's college fund, to an offshore account. His blood runs cold. The transaction date aligns with the emails, and the account ties to a shell company Sarah flagged as connected to Craig's firm. This isn't just a professional betrayal. Emily's actions jeopardize their daughter's future, a wound that cuts deeper than any lie. The discovery ignites a fire in Jason, but also a wave of self-doubt. How'd he miss the signs? The late nights, the guarded glances, the silences that stretched too long. Were they all clues to a truth he was too trusting to see? He thinks of Lily, her innocent question about Emily's sadness, and feels a pang of guilt for his blindness. The next day, under the dripping canopy of a Seattle park where cherry blossoms cling to rain-soaked branches, Jason meets Sarah again. She hands him a USB drive with decrypted email fragments, including one where Emily writes, "Once his firm's out of the way, we're clear." The words burn into him, each syllable a betrayal, but Sarah's steady voice pulls him back. "You've got enough to go legal," she says, her eyes serious. "But you need to stay sharp for Lily's sake." Jason grips the drive, his resolve hardening like steel. Emily's deception has torn through their life like a gale, but he won't let it sweep away everything he holds dear. As he walks home through the mist, the Seattle skyline looms, its lights both familiar and distant, like a memory of a life he thought he knew. Exposing Emily could fracture their family, leaving Lily caught in the wreckage. but silence means letting her betrayal fester, poisoning their future. He pictures Lily's crayon drawing, the three stick figures under a too-perfect sun, and vows to shield her, no matter the cost. The truth is within his grasp, but it's a double-edged sword, and Jason must wield it with precision to reclaim his life and protect the daughter, who means everything to him. Jason Miller sits alone in a quiet Seattle diner, the clatter of dishes and hum of late-night conversations a faint backdrop to the storm in his mind. The rain has eased to a drizzle, but the weight of Emily's betrayal presses harder than ever. The USB drive from Sarah, loaded with damning emails, rests in his pocket, its contents a map of deception. Emily's scheme with Craig to sabotage Jason's law firm, the stolen $50,000 from Lily's college fund, the calculated leak that cost him his reputation. Each revelation has carved a deeper wound, but Jason's anger is tempered by a gnawing question. How could the woman he loved, the mother of their daughter, orchestrate such a betrayal? The thought of confronting her churns his stomach, not just for the fight it would spark, but for the shadow it would cast over Lily's innocence. He needs to act, but not with rage, with strategy. The diner's neon sign flickers as Jason sips his coffee, its bitterness mirroring his mood. He's been spiraling, replaying years of trust, now tainted by doubt. But a conversation with his old law school mentor, Clara, shifts his perspective. They meet at a waterfront park, the Puget Sound glinting under a rare break in the clouds. Clara, her silver hair pulled back, listens as Jason pours out his pain. Not the details, but the weight of betrayal. "You can't undo what's been done," she says, her voice steady. "But you can choose how to move forward. For Lily, for yourself." Her words spark a flicker of clarity. Jason realizes that letting anger consume him risks hurting Lily more than Emily's lies ever could. He needs to fight, but within the bounds of the law, to protect his daughter and reclaim his life. Back home, Jason channels his turmoil into action. He enrolls in a community support group for professionals facing career setbacks, held in a cozy Capitol Hill library where the smell of old books mingles with fresh coffee. The group, led by a warm facilitator named Tom, becomes a lifeline. Sharing his story, carefully veiled as a workplace betrayal, helps Jason process his pain. Tom's advice resonates. Focus on what you can control. Build your case step by step. Inspired, Jason hires a private investigator, recommended by Sarah, to dig into Craig's shady dealings. The investigator, a no-nonsense woman named Lena, uncovers public records linking Craig's shell company to a string of corporate scams. She also traces the offshore account, confirming Emily's transfers. Every piece of evidence is gathered legally through open databases and ethical methods, ensuring Jason's case is airtight. At night, while Lily sleeps, Jason pores over the evidence, his home office a fortress of resolve. He discovers Emily's digital sloppiness, her emails sent from shared Wi-Fi network, her passwords recycled from old accounts. It's a small victory, but it fuels him. He also starts seeing a therapist, a quiet woman named Dr. Lynn, who helps him confront his blind trust in Emily. In their sessions, held in a serene office overlooking Lake Union, Jason unpacks his guilt for not noticing the signs, her late nights, her guarded phone. Trust isn't weakness, Dr. Lynn says, but can blind you. Use this to grow stronger. Her words help him reframe his pain as a catalyst, not a chain. He vows never to let love cloud his judgment again, not for himself, and especially not for Lily. Emily, meanwhile, maintains her facade, her cheerful chatter at breakfast a stark contrast to the secrets Jason now holds. He watches her kiss Lily's forehead, and the sight stings, a reminder of the family he's fighting to preserve, even if it means letting go of Emily. One evening, as they clean up after dinner, Lily runs in with a new drawing, a soccer field with Jason cheering her on. "You're my hero, Daddy," she says, and the words steel his resolve. He contacts the Securities and Exchange Commission, filing a whistleblower complaint with Lena's meticulously compiled evidence, exposing Emily's financial misconduct without breaking a single law. The wheels of justice are turning, and Jason feels a spark of hope amid the rain-soaked nights. Seattle's skyline, visible through his window, seems less distant now, a reminder that truth can cut through even the thickest fog. He's not just fighting for himself anymore, but for Lily, for fairness, and for the man he's becoming through this crucible of betrayal. The Seattle courthouse stands resolute under a rare, cloudless sky, its stone walls a steadfast backdrop to the culmination of Jason Miller's long fight for truth. Inside, the courtroom hums with tension, the polished wood and hushed whispers amplifying the stakes. Jason adjusts his tie, his fingers brushing the briefcase that holds the USB drive, months of evidence meticulously gathered, emails, bank records, decrypted messages exposing Emily's betrayal. Lily is safe with her grandmother today, her latest crayon drawing of their family tucked in Jason's wallet, a quiet reminder of what he's protecting. Across the room, Emily sits with a composed elegance, her tailored blazer masking the chaos she's sown. Craig, her accomplice, shifts uneasily beside her, his sharp suit failing to hide the sweat beating at his temples. Jason's pulse races, but his resolve is ironclad. This trial isn't just about clearing his name. It's about securing Lily's future and restoring the honesty he once took for granted. The proceedings unfold with surgical precision. Jason's attorney, Rachel, a seasoned litigator with a reputation for dismantling lies, presents the case with unflinching clarity. She unravels the web of deception. Emily's encrypted emails plotting to cripple Jason's law firm, the $50,000 siphoned from their joint savings, money meant for Lily's college fund, and the digital trail tying Emily to the leak that triggered Jason's suspension. Sarah's forensic expertise shines, revealing Craig as a consultant for a rival tech firm, orchestrating the scheme to secure Emily's startup a multi-million-dollar contract. Rachel plays a recorded call, legally obtained through Lena's investigation, where Craig urges Emily to keep Jason distracted. The courtroom stirs, jurors leaning forward as Emily's composure falters, her hands clenching beneath the table. Jason watches, a tangle of grief and determination swirling within him. The woman he once built a life with is a stranger now, her ambition warped into a betrayal that cut deeper than he ever imagined. Emily's defense lawyer counters with a polished narrative, painting the emails as strategic hypotheticals and the bank transfer as a legitimate investment. But the evidence is relentless. When Jason takes the stand, his voice is calm but resonant, each word weighted with months of pain and clarity. He recounts the anonymous email that sparked his search, the bank statement that shattered his trust, and the countless nights piecing together Emily's deception while Lily slept down the hall. His voice softens as he speaks of his daughter, of shielding her from the fallout of her mother's choices. "I'm here for her," he says, meeting the jurors' eyes, to ensure truth prevails. The room is silent, the weight of his words lingering. Rachel's closing argument is a masterclass, casting Jason as a man betrayed yet unbroken, fighting not for vengeance, but for justice and his daughter's future. As the jury retires to deliberate, Jason steps onto the courthouse steps, the Puget Sound sparkling in the distance, and breathes deeply. He thinks of Lily's laughter, her small hand in his, and holds onto that anchor through the agonizing wait. The verdict arrives with swift finality. The judge's voice cuts through the tension. Emily and Craig are guilty of fraud and conspiracy. Emily faces a substantial fine and mandated community service, her startup crumbling under the scandal's weight, its investors fleeing. Craig's consulting career lies in tatters, his firm publicly disavowing him. Jason's suspension is lifted, his reputation restored, and his law firm issues a formal apology, offering a promotion to lead their ethics division. Outside, Emily approaches, her eyes rimmed with tears, her voice fragile. "I never wanted this, Jason," she says, her hand hovering as if to touch him. "Can we rebuild for Lily's sake?" Jason steps back, his gaze steady but not harsh. "You chose ambition over our family," he says. "Lily deserves honesty, and I can't give her that with you." He turns away, the courthouse's shadow falling behind him, and feels a weight lift, the past loosening its grip. Jason and Lily relocate to a sunny suburb outside Seattle, a cozy house with a sprawling backyard where wildflowers bloom. He thrives as a single father, coaching Lily's soccer team and teaching her to ride a bike, her giggles filling the quiet evenings. At work, he launches a pro bono initiative for workplace transparency, channeling his pain into purpose. Emily fades from their lives, her occasional calls unanswered, her regret a distant echo she must bear alone. One spring afternoon, as they plant tulip bulbs in their garden, Lily hands Jason a new drawing. Just the two of them, standing under a vibrant sun, no shadows to dim their light. "We're happy, Daddy," she says, her smile wide. Jason pulls her into a hug, the scent of fresh earth grounding him. The Seattle skyline, once a symbol of their shared dreams, is now a distant memory, replaced by a life rebuilt on truth, love, and the unbreakable bond with his daughter. Justice wasn't easy, but it carved a path to a future where Lily's laughter is the loudest sound he hears.